Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Gellen Gel Nail Starter Kit. They reached out to me and asked me to select a couple of things that I wanted to try, so I just picked the full starter kit so y'all can kind of see what comes in it. I will put a picture up of the starter kit that I selected so that y'all know exactly which one. I will link it down in the description box as well for y'all. It came with all of these colors, plus a little insert that has some FAQs, how to apply, how to remove, and then the back shows everything that is included in the box. These are the two files that come with it. I am a fan of the Flex Buffer file, and then I like the straight files as well, so I was loving that it came with those too. And it came with a nice assortment of pastel colors for springtime. And it also came with a gel base, gel top, and a matte top coat. Also, this lamp was included. It's 72 watts. It has 30 lights. Everything else is included in this box that came with the lamp. So it comes with a hand moisturizing mask, a nail dust brush, which would be for the glitters that they included, I'm assuming. Also, the lamp, the bottom and the top separate from each other, so you can use this lamp to do your toes as well. So it has a 10 second, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and then a 99 second, which is a half heat mode, good for like builder gel and stuff. So this is what I mean by it separates, so you can just put that like on something and you can flash cure stuff, you can do your toes, all the things. So this is a great lamp for that, and the 72 watts is awesome as well. This is how big the lamp is on the inside, so if you have like super long nails, like double and triple XL, I'm not sure they would fit in there, but that's another thing. Here's everything that is included extra in the starter kit. So it's going to have a cuticle pusher, which is awesome. It's going to have your dotting tool, which is good for some nail art. You have the glitters, two different colors, silver and a pink, which are super pretty. Some nail stickers. I think that the words are adorable. I'm not really a fan of the lips, but I like the words that are included. Some toe separators, which I think are adorable because they're little hearts. French tip guides in different shapes for you. It also includes some striping tape, which I love striping tape personally. I'm a fan of it. Also some gems as well, which you only need, since they're this size, you should only need top coat to apply them, so they should work out with this kit. Also, these are UV gel polish remover pads. I will have to try them out. I did not use them in this video, but I will have to try them out. Also, I save these alcohol prep pads for when I go on vacation, so I'm not going to use those because I save those for when I travel. Also, this is a cuticle remover tool. I don't personally use it for that because it scares me. I use it to open like containers, open gel containers. And it also comes with its own cuticle oil. So here are all of the colors swatched. Since there were so many, I did not want to take up all of y'all's time since I'm going to do a mani with some of these colors. I'm going to be using the orange, the teal, and then a more nude color, which is the super light color, to do the mani today. It is going to be for the Cards Pick collab that Carol Lynette has been hosting for a few months now. This month she chose 3 cards. The 2 cards that I'm going to be using are the color palette, which is a retro, and then the minimalistic theme. So that's what I chose. The other theme that you could do was SpongeBob inspired, but I didn't want to do SpongeBob inspired. But I guess the colors kind of still are. I've been leaning more towards minimalistic art, so I wanted to try something different. So here are the base coat, top coat, and the matte top coat. I'm going to be using all 3 of these as well at the end to finalize my look. It's going to be a matte and glossy finish, which is super awesome. I'm not usually a fan of it, but some designs just are perfect for it. And this is the Flex file, which is also just a big buffer. It's got 2 different grit sides, which I love. I thoroughly enjoy those files. They are my favorite absolute go-to, and I love that they are included. Also love that they include a regular file as well because I like to clean up my edges. I will also be using the cuticle oil at the end. And then I will also be using the dotting tool that came with the kit as well. I'm a fan of using dotting tools. You can do many different things, but today I'm literally just gonna do dots. But we're gonna start off with this, I guess you can call it like a cream pink color. I'm gonna do that on my index and my middle finger, and then the orange is gonna go on the other 3 fingers. As you saw in the thumbnail, you'll kind of see what I'm gonna be doing. But I wasn't too sure until I kind of got into it what I was gonna be doing. I wanted to go minimalistic, but I ended up using the liner brush. A couple of things that aren't included in the kit. Like, you could totally do your mani with everything that's just included in the kit, but one thing that I found that wasn't included that I prefer to use, I like to use an orange wood stick to clean up my edges before I cure, just so that it's not stuck to my edges and my sidewalls and stuff. I like to keep my cuticle line crisp, and in order to do that, I like to use an orange wood stick, especially with gel polish. Orange wood stick and a little bit of alcohol or acetone on it before you round your edges, and it cleans up beautifully for a crisp edge. Also, I don't use the alcohol pads like I said, just because I like to take those on vacation. I have a bunch of kids, so it's really good. Alcohol wipes are a must when we go on any vacation, park trip, or anything. Somebody's always getting hurt, and those are really nice to keep with me, so I use them for a different purpose, but totally can be used for this kit, so you don't need any alcohol wipes or remover to use. You can totally use that, what's included in this kit. All right, so as you're seeing, the colors are not quite as opaque on the first layer. It's kind of hard to find a true opaque in one coat coverage. They are out there, but sometimes it doesn't always work that way. I always use 2 or 3 coats of gel polish. I will never use just 1 coat of gel polish on my nails. That's me personally. Even if it's going under a decal, I use 2. I am a 2-coat polish person, so I don't mind that it takes 2 coats. Also, I have a gel peel base underneath of the color with that particular gel peel base, you don't have to apply a base coat. So I didn't apply a base coat before I did this mani. I just put the peel base on, which is why it's so shiny. And that could be another reason why it's not quite as opaque. I've had that happen with a couple of other colors before, so it's always like a hit or a miss with the peel base, which colors are going to be opaque. But like I said, I don't mind. And as you saw, I flash cured for about 10 seconds before moving on to my thumb, just because I wanted the gel polish to not run while I was working on the rest of it. All right, so here is 1 coat coverage for this gel polish, and I'm going to go ahead and do a second coat. I'm going to show y'all how just opaque it gets with that second coverage. I did speed it up because it's really repetitive from what I just showed you. The only difference is that I start with the orange instead of starting with the cream white color. You can see how opaque it is with the 2 coats. I don't need to use any more than 2 coats, and it works out perfect. Like, 2 coats with this polish is great. The bottles were a little bit small, so was the handle a little smaller than usual, so it was a little bit tricky to use that, I guess, just a little bit. But the gel polish has a good consistency. It doesn't run everywhere. It's got the 2 coats full coverage. It was easy to do my nail art with, as you'll see coming up in just a little bit. I use this to do my nail art, so you can totally draw with this as well, which not all gel polishes you can. If it's too runny, you just can't. So I put 2 layers on, right? And then I always like to clean up my shape, no matter what. So I put a gel base and gel top coat on top, just because that's how I like to do it. I like to fully encapsulate. I use the base coat, which is a very lovely consistency. The top coat has got an amazing shine. I left this mani on for 4 days because I had to go somewhere and I didn't have time to change anything. And there were no chips. And I'm telling you, I am hard on my nails. There was no chips, no scuffs, no buffs. Nothing I was very shocked. So this base coat and this top coat will definitely be ones I will have to get more of because I really loved them. Even the matte top coat was so beautiful. It stayed that beautiful looking matte the whole time. It didn't like fade or rub off or get foggy or anything. Super pretty. All right. I cured the base coat for a full 30 seconds, and now it's top coat time. I don't show this on camera, but I do the top coat cure for 30 seconds, and here we are finished with this section of it. I am going to use the 180 grit side. I do not use the 100 side. That is too much grit. So I use the 180 side just to clean up that little bit that's on the sides, just to crisp up my shape a little bit. And I only show you 2 fingers, but I end up doing all of them just a little bit. Not much, because gel polish doesn't need a ton of work, but they do include it just in case you decide that you want to do a little bit more. The file, I don't use it on the 100 side, but if I was going to do a removal, like if I was ready to take off my gel polish, I would use the other side because the grit would be perfect for it. So you can use these files for removal as well. So I'm just showing you that I cleaned up my shape just a little bit just to make it like crisp. And then I show you my index finger. And then I file the rest of it. I file, shape, buff that little tiny bit that it makes me happy. And I do that off camera. And then I come back and it is time to do some nail art, right? This is just filed, shaped, buffed, cleaned up. I didn't add the matte top coat. You see my cuticles are a little bit red, a little bit on the sad side just because... sometimes they don't like it, but this is just a lot in one day for them. But we'll fix that at the end. They'll look fine by the time we're done. All right, so on my palette now is just a little bit of base coat because I run my brush through it just before, but I didn't show putting that on there. Also, I'm going to put a little bit of the teal. Here's where the teal comes in. A little bit of the orange on my palette so that I can go ahead and get to doing my minimalistic nail art. Like, as you saw from the thumbnail, it's super, super simple. And I'm even doing this with my non-dominant hand. So I'm going to use a liner brush. And I was always scared of this long liner brush just because I feel like I wouldn't have a lot of control. But I started listening to a bunch of YouTubers that I follow that said use the long brush. If you're going to do long lines, use the long brush. So guess what? I listened. And it was so easy to draw this straight line with my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand personally. I was shocked. So I was able to do 2 straight lines with this long liner brush, and I was just like shook. So I will be using this long liner brush. I think this is the 20 millimeter brush. This is the longest one in my set. So I think it's 20. It's either 15 or 20 millimeters. I think it's 20 though. And I was like so happy with the results. I got a straight line with my non-dominant hand, and that never happens. Also wanted to flash cure just in case I messed up these other lines. Even though these lines aren't quite as long, I still used the long liner brush and it gave me perfect lines. Like, I was just so shocked at the amount of control I could have in a longer liner brush. So that was something new for this for this video that I wanted to try as well. And I wanted to keep the design super simple, like really simple. So after I draw these lines, I make sure to be very careful because now I'm going to add the dots. I should have flash cured. Oh, I did flash cure. Okay. So in case I mess up my dots and I had to wipe the whole nail, I wouldn't mess them up. Now I leave this part in so y'all can see that I do mess up. So I don't always do everything perfect, especially with nail art with this hand. I just take a lint-free wipe, or aka paper towel, with some alcohol, and I just wipe it a little bit. So you see I'm struggling to keep my finger straight, and my line and my dots are not going in a straight line, and I'm just like, what in the world, right? So SJ3 Designs has a single finger rest, right? It is made for nail art. So you see how I struggled with that. Watch how easy it is now that I can place my hand on something and do my dots. Like, I'm able to rest my hand and I'm able to get a good angle and do my 3 dots and look at the line that made. It just made it so much easier. So why didn't I do that to start with? I'll never know. So here comes the gel base, the gel top coat. We are all finished with the mani, and I decided to throw matte top coat on, right? So here's the final look. It looks a little bit crusty, but that's why they give you cuticle oil. I used all the alcohol to cleanse everything as I was going so that I would not leave any gel on my skin. Once I put the cuticle oil on, yes, sometimes it takes a little bit of twisting when you first open them, so I kind of sped that up because it took a second. But you want to put the cuticle oil on and rub it in nice and good, and then you are all set. So this kit has everything that you need. The gel polishes were great. So everything that was included will give you plenty of stuff from multiple manis, and I was so impressed with how it worked. This was my first time trying out the gel and polish, and I am so happy with the end results. Thank you so much to Gellen for sending this to me and allowing me to try this out. Also, wanted to let you know, if you guys are worried about the cuticle oil messing with your top coat, this top coat did not have any issues with it. It looks shiny now, but as I show you, I take a little bit of alcohol on a lint-free wipe, and I just wipe off the cuticle oil from the nail itself, and it goes right back to where it was. So I hope y'all found this review helpful, insightful. I hope you give Gellen a try, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have a wonderful day, and I will catch y'all on the next one.